Rivers State House of Assembly has issued a warrant of arrest for the chairman of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, retired Justice Adolphus Enebeli, over his failure to appear before the House. The warrant was issued during Monday's plenary session, presided over by Speaker Martins Amehule, following the expiration of a 72-hour ultimatum given to Enebeli to present himself for questioning. Justice Enebeli had scheduled a fresh local government election for 9 August 2025 after the Supreme Court nullified the October 5, 2024 poll conducted by RSIEC. The Apex Court ruled that the election contravened Section 150 of the Electoral Act. Following the Supreme Court judgment, the State Assembly issued an ultimatum demanding Enebeli's appearance to explain the circumstances surrounding the annulled election. Meanwhile, Enebeli and his commissioners have challenged the Assembly's authority to summon them for questioning. In their suit, they have asked the court to restrain the Assembly from compelling their appearance, arguing that such a move would be unlawful. Justice Frank Onyiri, presiding over the case, granted leave for the claimants to serve the Assembly through substituted means and adjourned the hearing to April 17, 2025. Ndamzi, what do you make of this story? First of all, what I find very interesting is when they said that the Assembly summoning them is illegal. And this is coming from a retired justice. So what extent, or I want to understand the powers of the Assembly when it comes to summoning appointees of the state government.
Okay, thank you. When I saw this news, I laughed because the chairman of RSIEC himself is a retired judge, a judicial officer of repute. We know him very well, and going by this route, I'm very, very disturbed why, even those who claim to know the law are doing everything possible to subvert the law, to move around without taking recourse to the law. Section 128 and 129 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, gave the House of Assembly, not Rivers State House of Assembly. Martins Amehule and co. did not make the Constitution. That is Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Empowers the House of Assembly to investigate any ministry or parastatal or MDA or agency of government. They think something is fishy. The House of Assembly have powers to summon and investigate and also make recommendations where necessary. Justice Enebeli, the chairman of RSIEC himself, should know that. If he is watching me on this show, he should know that, and he should also know that no court in Nigeria will go against the provisions of 1999 Constitution. So whether the chairman of RSIEC has run to court with his commissioners to shield the Assembly from probing into what they have done, we are not preempting the judgment of the court, but the chairman of RSIEC should know that the court will not protect him. He has to appear before the Assembly. That is a constitutional provision. As an appointee of the government, you owe the Assembly where necessary, where they think something is wrong. You owe Rivers people explanation. And the only channel of communication to Rivers people explaining to constituents is through the House of Assembly. So why is it difficult for our leaders whenever they are called upon to come and account for stewardship? They try to run to court to shield them. It's high time they knew that the court is a court of equity and court of justice. And the court will dispense its judicial role with the 1999 Constitution, which is the ground norm. Even the Legislative Privileges Act derives its powers from the 1999 Constitution. So, Chairman of RSIEC, please, sir, respectfully, we are asking you to obey the summon from the Assembly. The Assembly is not crucifying you. The Assembly is not going to hoodwink you in any way. Go there with your proof of expenditure. Go there with the proof of money received from government. Tell Rivers people how you expended this money. Tell Rivers people how you conducted the local government election. Responsibility was given to you to man this commission. So what is the difficulty in coming out to explain to Rivers people that in last local government election, this is what transpired, money received was at about so amount of money, we expended this on this XYZ, that. This is remaining. On personnel, we hired so number of ad hoc personnel, we expended this. On operations, we did this. On this, we did this. On the legal matter ongoing, we expended this. This is left. I mean, why our leaders, why are they always running away from accounting for stewardship? I have asked this question in different fora, in different sections, even on informal sections where I discuss with colleagues and friends. I kept asking this question. Why is it that whenever our leaders, you would want a position now, and government will give it to you, and trust this responsibility to you, voted money to you, then time has come to explain to Rivers people how you have managed the office given to you with resources given to you to manage that office. It becomes a problem. You are running to court to shield you. So court to shield you from explaining to us, no justice, you cannot run to court. You must explain to Rivers people how you expended the billions of naira given to you, even when we do not have appropriation law. And I think that is what they are running from. Lasbury, my friend, has recently resigned. The Professor Welle has also resigned. Why are they resigning? They need to come and explain. Because monies were voted to their offices. They owe Rivers people explanation. This money belongs to all of us. I am highly vexed how these leaders just think they can just misbehave anyhow at the detriment of the poor masses, and they think they will do it and walk away all the time. Time has come. We will start challenging them in court. If the assembly will not follow them up, I personally, I will take legal action against them, because I also I'm a beneficiary. I'm a Rivers citizen. I am directly affected with what is happening in the state. So I have the right also to sue RSIEC to court and ask them to come and give account of stewardship. So the assembly have not done anything wrong. What the assembly have done is in line with the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, has empowered them in section 128 and 129 of 1999 Constitution to inquire into the funds of public appointees.
All right, very well. Chizzy, what do you make of the story?
Well, you know, I have talked about this Justice Enebeli retired, with all due respect. As if I was having interest of even going to study law because of him, I won't. Because I don't see anything. This is a man who is a lawyer, you know, had grown, went to the bench and became a judge and retired. And do you know why sometimes they bring in retired justice of the court, all of that? It's because they believe in their integrity. They believe that they know the law, they know what to say. And this was the man who told Rivers people that the reason why he has not conducted the election before June was that that RSIEC budget was not captured in the appropriation bill. That was the man who told us that. And all of a sudden he went and then conducted the election. Of course, the court has said what you did was wrong. And these people have asked us, don't forget, there's even freedom of information. Meaning that an NGO like mine can actually go there to ask him to account for it.
Of course.
Even the legislator. So he is saying that if we go there, he will not give us his books to tell us this is what I did with the public fund. That is because he knows he has stolen money. Justice Enebeli knew that he is so corrupt that he went into, I'm saying it openly, I'm saying it. Justice Adolphus knew that he is so corrupt. In the first instance, if there's nothing backing my claim, is the fact that because RSIEC does not have internal generated revenue, they don't source money from any other place. There's no place they source money. So that means that he would have gotten money from an illegal means. He knows what an appropriation bill is. He knows. I was thinking that as a man with integrity, he would have resigned if they insisted on him holding the election. I would resign. Because I said, where will I get the money?
But that does not translate to the accusation that you have made. You've made a very strong accusation against Justice Enebeli.
That what?
You accused him of stealing money.
Money that not appropriated is stolen. Money not appropriated for is stolen. Why are we dodging it? Any money, let him take me to court. Any money not appropriated for is stolen. There's no other name. Why are we painting it? Any money, I'm repeating it, any money not appropriated for, and if you receive that, the man who stole and the man who received, they are the same. If the governor did not appropriate the bill and gave you the money and you collected, it means that whatever will happen to the governor will happen to you. And the court has told us that. We have said that. The court has said there was no appropriation. So where did he get the kind of money that he got to do whatever he went? So if it's not appropriated for, it's stolen. It's not misappropriated, it's stolen. That's another thing. So now, misappropriated is that you have an appropriated fund, then you took it to do something that was not a misappropriation. That misappropriation. This one is not appropriated for. Then they gave you money and you collected and select hold the election. And then as soon as the Supreme Court gave order, quashing your process, quashing the election you had based on certain process, which includes that you do not have an appropriation, which includes the fact that you did not meet the process. Just 2 days after, 72 hours after, you are announcing a new election. So that when we now appropriate fund, you will not use it to cover the other one.
We're still without a budget. But then...
please, if we should let us know so that they will understand that what we are saying, that people know this thing they are doing. Because, you see what I don't understand? He said, people resigned, called somebody who resigned. I called them. That's why you're resigning. Come and tell us what you have used the money for. Unless you are resigning and telling us that, no, when this thing will happen, because it's a commission, it's not one person. As I tell you this thing will happen, I didn't know how it happened. I was just saying anything. You remember that last week or thereabout, I came here and I said, even the assembly is not supposed to call them for. It's when they, it hit the root, and then the root, because for I care. If I'm just Enebeli and you call me and I go there, I will tell you how I spent it. He said, how did you get the money? I said, look, I am under the executive council. I work under the governor. I gave him a bill. It is him who knows whether it's appropriated for or not. As simple as that. So he gave me this thing and I used it to execute by this thing. Now it is the process that will now begin to as a judge, as a justice of the state. Mm-hmm. Don't you know that so thing? Mm-hmm. Now all the things they quashed the election for are still there. Now look at what he should have been doing is to apologize to Rivers State for even losing the election. That's what he should have done. Because I heard the election. Do you know what it means that you had an election as a justice, that the court that is your place told you that, and all the courts said the same thing, from the court of first instance to the court of appeal and to the Supreme Court, told you that the process were not right. For me, I will resign. I will say, I'm sorry that I did something. That means that there are things that I should do as a person. You will not only, I'm thinking that even the NJC or something should call him and suspend him and seize his retirement benefits and remove that toga of justice from him, because that's not good. That you were there. Let me tell you something, there are mistakes I will make now. When I was talking about constitutional provision, I didn't quote the sections and all of that. Anybody listening to me will know that the lawyers call us layman. I'm a layman. I can say constitution. It's when we begin to search constitution that we begin to look at it. But if he's quoting it, he will be exact. And if he's not exact, they will say, a lawyer will not be exact in what he's saying. Who should know the exact, isn't it? Mm. So there are things that both of us can commit now. They can hold him. His professionalism can hold him. Me as a politician, they will know that what I'm saying as a politician, I should say it now. Let them go and do it. I have prepared my letter. I didn't come early today because I'm writing a letter and typing a letter, writing and petitioning Right Honorable Martin Zamehule for conspiracy.
Conspiracy in what sense?
Yes, because he's the one who is giving us all of this thing. Warrant of arrest, he said he's begging Justice Adolphus to go and appear before the... I am saying don't appear. Police, arrest him. Let him go to prison.
But a warrant of arrest has been issued.
That is what he is saying, he should go and appear now. I am saying that the warrant of arrest should... And they should go and arrest him. And now that the warrant of arrest has been issued, though, I can arrest somebody. That's what the police says, though, and bring to the police.
Of course.
So if I catch him, I will take him to the police.
Anybody can arrest him.
Anybody can arrest him. He should now go... They will populate the government house. Because all the informal, all the illegal commissioners have got back to government house. All of them are going, the House of Assembly people, the forum that did what they did, they are all in government house. So the RSIEC now will pack to government house. They will be declaring them until all of them, the government house will so full.
Okay, to protect themselves.
That's why they think they will protect. You see, it's a government house. the what's it called now? The immunity is between the government, the governor, and his family. Not these ones that are coming there to it's like going to kill somebody, you run to government house. That government house is just now. They will order the police in government house to bring them out. It's as simple as that. So I don't know why people think that they can just hide under all of this. I am so ashamed. To say the least, I'm so ashamed of Justice Enebeli.
All right, very well. Now, on the issue of probe, I would want us to touch a little bit on the issue of probe, because, Chizzy, you've been calling for probe for a long time. Now, this question goes to you, Ndabzi. I don't know if you are aware of a permanent injunction instituted by Dr. Peter Odili when he was governor, barring Rivers State governors from being probed.
Yes, I'm aware.
How is that? Isn't that going to affect, because Chizzy has been calling for a probe into the 2024 budget?
Yes, that judgment, that order was a perpetual injunction. And you know, perpetual injunction is given by the court on rare occasions. Rare occasions where it is believed that there is a breach or a continuous breach or likely to be further breach of a right. The court can give a perpetual injunction, you know, restraining the breachers not to indulge in further infraction of that person's right. But you see, in my view as a lawyer, that perpetual injunction was not done in good faith.
Can it be set aside?
Yes, of course it can be set aside by a higher court.
It was not vacated. I think, because I need more clarification, when perpetual injunction is given, you know, there is a time for that to be vacated. If it is not vacated, is it subsisting? That
doesn't mean that the life of that judgment is dead. Rivers State government or even Rivers indigents can reawaken that matter.
Okay.
Yes, it can be reawakened with substantive evidence. You know, he that alleges must prove. That is the position of the law. You cannot reawaken that matter if you do not have evidence to back up your claim in court. If you have evidence that as at the time of Sir Dr. Peter Odili, that monies appropriated for certain things were misappropriated or embezzled or stolen, as the case may be, by any official of the government, if you have that evidence, there is nothing wrong in the law that says that you cannot petition that person. Criminal litigation have no time bound. Criminal matters, you can prefer criminal charges. A crime that happened 60 years ago, you can bring it up today. If you have the evidence, if you have witnesses that can attest to the fact that that crime actually happened. So, if any Rivers indigent or any institution in Rivers State or Rivers State government itself thinks or know or have any valid evidence that as at that time monies were stolen in any guise, Rivers State government can bring up action. Let me also say this for the interest of our listening viewers. Corruption cases can be brought by the police. The police have jurisdiction on matters bordering on corruption. Police can also prosecute if they have evidence. We kicked against the formation of all these agencies, ICPC, ECPs. All that is just duplication of offices. Because the police is empowered to prosecute crime. The Section 4 says that the Police Act says that the police have right to maintain law and order, which also includes anybody who steals from government, they can arrest and prosecute you. So If any Rivers indigene or any Nigerian have valid proof, evidence, whatever source, exhibits that can help in vacating that perpetual injunction, believe me, it is not final. It is not final. Even that angle, we can even bring up a fresh matter altogether because it is a criminal accusation. So criminal accusations, criminal litigations have no time bound, have no time limit in our laws.
All right. So what it means is that this permanent injunction can be vacated.
Of course, it can be vacated.
And does the evidence need to backdate to Dr. Peter Odili's time? Can it be in the present, probably, or the last two administrations, or the last administration?
Yes, there is nothing in that judgment or that injunction which says that if a current official of Rivers State government stole money, that he cannot be prosecuted. What the government of Sir Dr. Peter Odili did was, they went to court to shield the government. They accused the government of witch hunting. They accused the government that the government, is unjustly, witch hunting them. Okay, they went to court for court to shield them. So, court with certain reasons best known to them, according to the prayers of parties, granted that injunction. But that does not foreclose the fact that Rivers appointees, on subsequent cases, who stole our money, we cannot prosecute them. Does that injunction say that a commissioner should just come, loot away the money, and we can't ask questions? No. So people should be or a contractor. My dear, under the Freedom of Information Act, you have power to walk into that ministry and ask the commissioner, Honorable Commissioner, I learned the road in my community was awarded to you in the last appropriation bill, and it was not done. Please, may I know what you did with the money? We have the right to do that. The FOI Act empowers I and you. Now, individual, group, or persons can probe into government affairs, can probe into government documents. It is our right to do. So nothing forecloses us from bringing action against any Rivers State government official who's
saying reaction.
Let me leave the lawyers to do the technicalities of that perpetual injunction. But let me separate something. I just want to ask some rhetorical questions so we begin to know the difference between what I'm talking about now and that perpetual injunction. Number one, you can't give an injunction to the EFCC not to probe a sitting governor because the man is covered by immunity in the first instance. So no EFCC can go and probe Fubara. No EFCC can probe the president because he enjoys immunity. So that perpetual injunction, to me, may likely be that it's outside power. So if they cannot give that guy, they cannot probe him because he has immunity. The Constitution also provides for those that can probe the man under immunity, and that's the Assembly. So that perpetual injunction is not to the Assembly. That's why I'm not asking the EFCC to come and do that. I'm asking the Assembly to ask questions. It is not covering that.
It's not barring the Assembly from probing the governor.
Probing the governor. No.
But the EFCC after his tenure.
Because the EFCC can't even do it now because he enjoys immunity. He can't be taken to court by the EFCC. The only people that can probe him, and if they have to probe him and find him wanting, the only way they can now leave him to other external factors to catch him is to impeach him. As impeachment, he is no longer a governor. So that other one cannot say or not. I don't want to talk about those technicalities. It's just to remove
There's one thing to probe and that thing to prosecute. So the Assembly might decide to, probably after his tenure, to go to courts and say, courts, this is what it is. Can the Assembly prosecute?
No. Let me tell you something. Let me finish.
We'll still come back to you.
Let me finish. Look at where the work of the Assembly is.
Go ahead.
The Assembly probes you and feel that you are culpable. And if you are culpable, it's impeachable. Because nobody can take you to court as long as you are still governor. So, as an impeachment, so the next step of the Assembly is to not impeach you. When they not impeach you, you now become like Chizzy or Master or ordinary citizen of Nigeria. And so you can be probed by any other person if the assembly so wish, or any other person. But the assembly has said this is, as soon as you are impeached on that ground, it means that you're already guilty by the assembly. It is for the court to now say what assembly did was right or wrong. Now it is on that perpetual injunction can either come for him or against him. I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
But that what I'm saying is that get this person's probe and make it public. All of us make it very public so that all of us will know whether what we are doing is actually, because we are, while you are probing the executives, we'll also be probing you whether you're also trying to do something, so that we will know. So I am not saying that maybe the EFCC should come or all of that. The EFCC can come or not come by that perpetual injunction, which I frown at in the first instance, where the court granted such thing. By that perpetual injunction, it's even today that he explains why they give perpetual injunction. Because for me, I was like, why would you give someone a perpetual injunction? It's like, don't ever probe me. It's like, police, don't investigate me. It's like, this person don't do me. But he has told us that, when they begin to find three layers, let me not repeat what he said. 3 layers, because I've learned today. I've become a lawyer by that level. But I can tell you now that what I am not saying, I'm talking about the after scene. I'm saying why he is the only people that have right now to probe the president is the National Assembly. The only person that have right now to probe the governor is the Assembly. So those are the people I'm talking about. And if they do probe him and find him culpable on one thing, it becomes impeachable offense. Don't just leave him. They will ask, okay, by this and this. It is for us to know that, oh, this thing they have said is probably is impeachable, and they impeach him. That's what I'm calling. I'm not calling for EFCC, so it does not have anything to do with this, because you see, what we do in this part of this country is, especially in Rivers State, and my own political group, I call it what I call a compensatory, definition of or interpretation of the court judgments. We have a word of interpreting. Do you know why they went for the Enebeli announced local government election? Because just in 24 hours after that Supreme Court judge, they were already losing sympathizers. And so you have to announce a local government election so that everybody will be now getting, okay, those who didn't want even the person who was there among the team, they will still be gathering around him. It's just they know that it doesn't hold any water. That's what they're doing.
All right, very well.